Okay, now that the lecture is being recorded, let's start with today's topic. All right, so we're going to talk about the common mistakes in speaking. Even though you have not yet attended a coaching session, a one-on-one coaching session, this lecture is still very important as it will serve as a guideline on your coming one-on-one coaching session, okay? So you have the chance to undergo a coaching session every Thursday. Now, if na-cut off na, kasi usually we accept up to 15 slots on Thursdays, you can still have a chance to have a coaching session after the lecture with me or Sir Kevin, depending on Sir Kevin's schedule. Kasi ako naman, I do give time after the lecture. So, yes. Why is it important to talk about the common mistakes in speaking? Definitely, mistakes, hindi yan magandang pakinggan because we're about to, alam yun, hihimay-himayin natin yung mga weaknesses ng bawat candidate. Okay? However, it's really important for you to identify your weaknesses in order for you to know which particular areas you need to improve on. Am I right? Because if you don't identify your weaknesses or the areas that you've been doing wrong, it's not easy for you to step up to your next level or to improve. Identifying your common mistakes is the best solution for you to improve in your interview. Okay. So before we move on with the common mistakes, I would like to discuss with you that the most common mistake that other candidates do is they don't study in a review center or they don't have any preparation at all. Okay? Have you ever heard of the term or of the line, planning to fail is failing to plan is planning to fail? Oh, baliktad pa. Okay, failing to plan is planning to fail. Same as preparation. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Okay? Because preparation and planning come hand in hand, right? So, other candidates who were not able to undergo a review are more prone to fail their first take in the IELTS. Because IELTS is not just a simple English examination. It's actually one of the top English proficiency examinations internationally. So definitely the standards are high. Okay? So if you're here in the review center, it means naiwasan mo na yung first common mistake, which is not reviewing for your IELTS. Another common mistake is rushing. Okay? When you feel like napapressure ka na sa employer mo or sa kapatid mo or sa magulang mo na pilit ka nang pinapapunta sa ibang bansa, well, we are advising you not to listen to their advice because you know yourself better. Okay? You can self-evaluate from every now and then. You can easily tell if you are prepared 100% or not. Okay? Of course, your coaches, like me and Sir Kevin, we can give you advice. We can somehow help you evaluate your self. But then we do not have the final say as to when you're going to take your exam. So ideally, students take 3 to 4 months of preparation, of reviewing before they take their IELTS exam. Some students really like to take their time. They actually spend a year. Since yung validity naman ng review nyo is for a year, right? It's only review for a whole year. So why do you have to pressure yourself? Okay? it's much better to be safe than sorry, because the tendency is if you tend to rush things, you also tend to not prepare well enough. Okay? That principle is applicable for definitely for all aspects in life. Okay. Let's take a look at the grading criteria. We're going to talk about the grading criteria first before we move on with the main part of the lecture, which is the common mistakes in speaking. Okay, so your speaking test or your interview is going to be graded depending on these four major grading criteria, which is first, your fluency and cohesion. Fluency talks about your speaking skills. Okay? Fluency is not only about having good command of English. Fluency actually focuses on your response. If appropriate ba yung sinasagot mo, if relevant ba, or if naintindihan mo ba mabuti yung tanong. Okay? Because in some cases, even though mabilis sumagot yung ibang students, pero tama ba yung sinupply na answer? Not all the time. Because there are also some misunderstandings in the questions. But don't worry, because examiners are not that strict. Okay? You can most probably say, please repeat the question. You can ask the examiner to repeat the question if you have any tinge of doubt regarding the question that was asked during the interview. Okay? Cohesion is about unity. How composed your answers are, how organized they are, and if they can still be in the parameters of the question. Okay? So meaning, yung fluency and cohesion is all about answering the questions that are being asked to you in a practical way and in a more effective way. Okay? Next, we have vocabulary and lexical resource. Vocabulary talks about words, okay? And last week and this week, we will be giving a lot of emphasis on improving your vocabulary, because vocabulary is the basic foundation of language. Because definitely, if you don't understand the words, the phrases, the expressions that are being used, what will be the result? Language barrier. Okay? So if you don't understand the words, and if you're not equipped with appropriate vocabulary for IELTS, then it will be a big reason for you to have a lot of point deductions in your speaking subtest. Third, we have grammar. Okay? So grammar, pwede kayong humihinga ng konti dito kasi good news, grammar is not as important in the speaking subtest as it is in the writing subtest. Okay? So when you're speaking, hindi naman mare-record ng examiner lahat ng mga errors mo or lapses mo, because most probably hindi na yan manonote. Okay? But so the writing subtest, it's very important for you to make sure that your grammar is good. Okay? Hindi masyadong conscious yung mga examiner pagdating sa grammar ng speakers, ng candidates. They're actually very considerate in this area. But it doesn't mean, though, na hindi mo nagagalingan yung sentence construction mo. Of course, you still have to come up with complete sentences. You have to come up with the proper use of subject-verb agreement. Okay? And lastly, we have pronunciation. And I would like to say, last but not the least, because of all the 4 areas for grading criteria, pronunciation is one of the most important one. Why? Because pronunciation, if mispronounced, if words are being mispronounced, definitely there will be misunderstandings, misinterpretations. And of course, when you're mispronouncing words, dalawang areas na yung na-affect. Grammar and vocabulary. Actually, tatlo, pati pronunciation. So it means higher chances of getting more point deductions. Do you get the point? So that's why pronunciation is so important. Because if you screw up with one wrong pronunciation of a word, it actually also affects your the structure of your sentences. Okay? All right, do we have any questions about the grading criteria of the speaking subtest? Okay, whenever I have my coaching session with my students, I also add one more, which is the delivery or your body projection, okay? Because for me, communication is not only about the words that you speak, but communication is also about your body projection, your hand gestures, eye contact, facial expressions, your tone. Okay? So if ever there is something that I feel like you need to improve on, especially when I'm seeing you, for example, you're slouching on the chair or you're overly confident. You know, demeanor is very important when it comes to the interview, because this time you're being evaluated by a real person. Okay, you're being evaluated by live. It's not even recorded, unlike MET, PTE, OET, and other examinations. Most of the speaking subtests are only done by AI generated speaking subtest. So IELTS is very unique because you really have to talk to a person. Okay? But don't be so intimidated with your speaking subtest, because examiners don't really look for technical terms or too formal demeanor or language. They actually just want to assess how well or how practical you can use the English language. Okay? So, having that said, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay. Our first topic today is the common mistakes with fluency and cohesion. Of course, we're going to tackle all the common mistakes. And of course, we're going to give you some suggestions or solutions on how you can further improve your performance. All right. First, let's take a look at this picture. All right. Try to observe the details and try to observe the woman and think of an adjective to describe her facial expressions. Okay, I'm going to be asking one by one. What adjective can best describe her facial expressions or her emotions currently? So, participants in Zoom, I would appreciate it if you would also come up with an answer. So in Zoom, we have Carlo, We have Jenny Bell, Irish, Daisy, Anthony, and Karen. And we also have Zyrene. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Is it Zyrene or Zyrene? All right, so we already have answers from Zoom participants, but I would like to hear first from the people here in the classroom. Yes, Blake. Worried. Okay, that's a good word. Why do you think she looks worried? Okay, that's an indication that she's worried. Okay, how about you, Marco? Natutulala. What's the English of natutulala? Spacing out. Yes, thank you, Blake, for that term. She's spacing out. Daniel, how about you? Nervous. Okay, that's a really good answer. So here's a Zoom. She is intimidated. Okay, intimidated also means shy, not confident. All right. Another answer is confused and anxious. Well, basically, all those words that you've mentioned, all the adjectives that you've mentioned, have the same meaning. Okay? It all boils down to nervousness. Okay? Well, ako kasi medyo, I put a little extra mile when interpreting photos. I also pay attention to her attire. Probably she's wearing like a formal dress. It's not really seen, but according to her jewelry, she seems like uh she attended a formal event, right? Alam nga naman pupunta lang siya sa coffee shop, naka-pearls pa siya na. Bonggang-bonggang pearls. Right? So definitely she's in a formal event. And honestly, formal events can be very intimidating, right? So probably she doesn't know the people there, or she's not familiar with the setting, or probably it's her first time, right? Now I want you to remember a scenario in your life wherein it was your first time doing something, such as first job interview. Sabi ni Rick, di ako makarelate. Have you ever had a job before? Not yet. I could tell from your age. All right, first job interview, or my first time taking an entrance examination for the university that I'm eyeing for. It was really intimidating, you know. Then what else? Nakaka-intimidate, nakaka-nervous then when it's your first time meeting your girlfriend or your wife's parents or family, right? Tamang-tama, it's Valentine's Day today, right? So everything that you do for the first time triggers emotions such as nervousness, anxiousness, intimidation, confusion, worrying, spacing out. You just don't know what to do because you are not familiar with the situation. But do you also believe that once you become familiar with a certain situation, you start becoming confident? Right? That's why, since you're here right now and you've enrolled in this review center, it means you have to grab every opportunity that is given to undergo coaching sessions, to do the mock tests, Because I know it's not easy for you, even though you have the link, if you don't have a conducive place for studying, kapag hindi maganda yung environment mo, hindi tahimik, there are a lot of distractions, hindi ka din makapag-focus sa mock test kahit na nasa bahay ka, right? It really depends on how many people live in the same roof, under the same roof, right? So ang mga Pinoy pa naman mahilig sa mga setup na sama-sama sa isang household, yung extended families, right? Yung pamangkin mo, ang ingay, or probably yung anak mo, right? So that's why we're giving you the opportunity to have your mock tests here at the branch every Tuesday and every Thursday. Now, kung ang case mo naman is nasa abroad ka, definitely make use of the link na shinare namin so that you can do your mock tests. Okay? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Always remember that. Lahat ng simula mahirap. But once you get used to it, once you undergo the same situation over and over again, mawawala na yung intimidation, mawawala na yung confusion, yung worriness, yung anxiousness, it's all gonna be gone. Well, not 100%, kasi talaga namang nerve-wracking ang totoong interview. Pero when I stepped into the interview room, after undergoing a lot of review and I can't say coaching kasi ako yung nag-coach. What I mean is, maraming beses akong nanood ng mga online sources in order for me to improve in my speaking. So when I entered the interview room, I was no longer nervous. I was actually excited. Para matapos na. Okay? That's why we are inviting every candidate to undergo at least 10 coaching sessions before you take your examination. Hindi namin to sinasabi just because we want you to spend more time here, right? We're saying this for your own good because it's been tested for years of study that coaching is very crucial when it comes to an IELTS candidate. Okay? So, let's talk about the common causes of making mistakes with your fluency and your cohesion. First one is being uncomfortable and nervous, or you're extra self-conscious. Okay? Definitely, the solution is to practice. As cliche as it may sound, practice really makes perfect. Okay? Or at least improvement. Okay? Next is limited vocabulary. Yung stuttering and fillers, yan yung nauutal ka kapag nagsasalita. Fillers naman, yun yung extra words or nuances that you utter during the interview. Like, or minsan yung filler mo din is like, yung word na like. Yeah, pwedeng maging filler yon. Ibig sabihin nun, ginagamit mo yung word na yon in replacement or you're just adding it even though the word is not necessary. Okay? For example, well, yeah, I really like going to the bowling place there in Cabanatuan City. Like, it's so fun there, and it's like all my friends go there, and I'm like so excited. Nabilang niyo ba kung ilang beses ko sinabing word na like? Well, it's not. It hinders understanding. Kasi imbes na nakafocus siya sa sagot mo, mas na-focus siya sa pagbibilang kung ilang beses mo sinabi yung like. Alright? So that's what a filler is. Or pwedeng, What's your favorite food? My favorite food is sinigang. Sinigang is a Filipino. Sinigang is a Filipino food. In tamarind broth. So mahirap siya i-explain. Okay? Mahirap siya i-explain kaya nagsa-stutter ka. Kasi nga hindi ka confident sa sagot mo. And another reason is limited vocabulary. As mentioned earlier, vocabulary is the basic foundation of learning a new language. How can you further express your thoughts and ideas if you have limited vocabulary? Okay, so how can you solve that issue? Definitely read more and observe English speakers by watching movies, undergoing listening mock tests, of course, reading more, because garbage in, garbage out. Meaning, kung ano man yung ini-invest mo sa brain mo, yun din yung i-read mo. Or yun din yung lalabas. Okay? So, if you are not preparing well enough, how can you speak during the interview? Okay? Next is does not understand the question or unfamiliar with the topic. Okay, this is a case-by-case scenario. Does not understand the question means the examiner asked the question in a way na parang it may sound more difficult. Okay? So that's why you can simply ask the examiner to repeat the question. If you're not sure, or if there's a tinge of doubt, na hindi mo na gets yung question 100%, it's okay to ask for repetition. Simply say, can you please repeat the question? Proven and tested na yan. Maraming mga test takers, kahit ilang beses nila sinabi yung can you please repeat the question, they were able to get their desired band score. Why? Because they made sure that they provided the appropriate answer. Na yung tanong, na yung sagot nila is relevant sa tanong. Kasi mahirap naman na pag tinanong ka, what is your name? Ang sasagot mo naman is ice cream. What's your favorite food? Shannon. Diba? So, it's very contradicting. That's why it's very important that you understand the question. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the topic, this is a different case. Okay? Being unfamiliar with the topic can be forgiven. Okay? Pwede yan i-consider. Let's say, there's a social issue. The topic is about a social issue that you are not aware of. Hindi mo naman pwedeng ipilit yung utak mo na mag-isip ng something na hindi ka talaga knowledgeable about. Pero of course, pwede natin i-prevent yung mga ganong sitwasyon. How? By, again, read more. Feed your brain. Okay? Because our brain is also like our body. It needs to be fed with content. Yung content na talagang valuable, information, you need to be updated with social news. You have to be socially aware, right? And then next we have, yun nga, if you're unfamiliar with the topic, what do you do? First step, identify the keywords. Pero kung hindi nga talaga mabigay yung utak at that certain point, you can simply admit the fact that you don't know what to say. But of course, you still have to sound professional. You still have to sound like maaring hindi ka familiar sa topic na yun, but it doesn't mean that it's Hindi naman siya kasalanan. You can simply say, honestly speaking, I am not fully aware about that specific topic. But don't worry, as soon as I get home, I will do my research and educate myself about it. Okay? It's okay to be honest. Kesa naman, nagpapanggap ka na alam mo yung isasagot mo, pero paligoy-ligoy ka lang and mali-mali pa yung sinasabi mo. More accumulation of points for deduction ang mangyayari. That's why, if you really don't know about something, just be honest. Pero hindi namin sinasabing give up easily. Of course, you have to practice then and be prepared. Okay? We are providing you with PDF files and handouts para maging familiar kayo sa mga posibleng itanong during the interview. Okay. Another cause of stuttering is trying not to commit fillers. When you're trying too hard not to commit fillers, the more na nagkaka-fillers. Okay? Because fillers are acceptable. Pwede naman talaga because even me, when I speak, nagkaka-fillers din ako from time to time. Alright? But you shouldn't overdo it. Okay? You shouldn't overdo it. Kasi, pag masyadong maraming fillers na yung speech mo or yung mga sagot mo, it hinders comprehension. Hindi ka na maiintindihan ng kausap mo. Right? But you can use fillers in the beginning of your answer before you say your answer. For example, the question is, what is your favorite hobby? I do have a long list of hobbies, but top of the list is baking. I find baking a very therapeutic activity as it requires a lot of focus and you need to be fully knowledgeable of the proper ingredients and measurements in baking. I also find it very enjoyable because the results or the finished product is the most exciting part, right? Pastries, cookies, desserts. All right. So yun, I had a filler, but I used it in the beginning so that I can have more time to process the question and to come up with ideas. Kasi minsan, pag minamadali mo na masyado yung sagot mo, hindi mo masyadong napag-iisipan, right? So, the key in IELTS is to have a medium speaking pace. Para you are able to think clearly and to able to filter. If i-filter mo yung mga sagot mo hindi pwedeng kung ano yung unang lalabas sa isip mo, yun agad. Iisipin mo muna kung yung sagot ko ba na to, kaya ko bang panindigan? Like, baka pag sinagot ko yung adobo, mamaya magkakamali pa ako because I need to describe what adobo is to a foreigner who doesn't even have an idea what adobo is, right? Okay. Unable to link words, phrases, and sentences to form an idea. Ito yung kapag sentence by sentence yung sagot mo at walang mga transition words or connectors. Okay? For example, describe your family. I have 4 siblings. I have my father and mother. I have 2 sisters. I have 2 brothers. We are happy family. Ang boring pakinggan, di ba? Right? Kasi, hindi ka nakagamit ng linking words or connectors. How about you answer it like this? We are a family of... Binilang bigla. Okay. 4, 2, 6. Okay. We are a family of 6. I still live with my parents and my siblings. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. In fact, we all still live in the same under the same roof because none of us is married yet. So it's safe to say that we're still dependent on our parents. Our family is quite bigger than the normal family, but it's happy. We're happy, and it's fun to be together because one day in the future we will all have our own families and we won't be bonding as much as we do right now. O, di ba mas maganda pakinggan na parang nagkikwento ka lang ng totoo mong buhay, right? That's why you have to make use of linking words and discourse markers. Such as, when you're introducing opinions, you can start by saying, I guess, I think, I believe. And then, of course, when you're introducing reasons, you can use the most common connector, the word because. Because in IELTS, your aim is always to extend your answer. So, if the question is, who is your favorite music artist? I'm a big fan of K-pop idols. So it's not a specific person. My favorite music artist is a group named BTS. Actually, they are a Korean boy band. They are internationally popular across the globe because all of the members are pretty handsome and definitely very talented. Yun. Okay? So, dun mo gagamitin yung word na because when you're introducing the reasons. And in IELTS speaking, you always have to give reasons and examples. Okay? Introducing results of something. So, are you currently working or studying? As of the moment, I have recently resigned from my 8 to 5 job. So now I am a carefree person. Okay. That's my dream, to resign. To resign, well, I mean to retire early so that you can have your own business. Maybe something like that, okay? Now, if you're uncertain or ibig sabihin na daw, hindi ka sure sa isasagot mo or hindi ka pa sure, pwede mong gamitan ng maybe, probably, well, I think. Okay. For the example, the question is, how do you see yourself 5 years from now? I'm in my late 20s. So after 5 years, I'd probably be married and have my own family. Pero hindi ka nga sure kasi nga 5 years from now pa yon. So we really don't know what will happen after 5 years. So you could use the word maybe, probably. Okay. Another common mistake is ideas lacking organization. Okay? It's very important that when the question is being asked, nagfo-formulate ka na agad ng sagot sa isip mo in English. Okay? It's easier for you to start formulating the answers while the question is being asked. Alam ko hindi yun madali because kailangan mabilis ka mag-isip, right? Pero habang tinatanong na yung tanong, pakinggan mo na yung keywords para somehow meron ka nang maisip. Okay? So, ang common cause ng lack of organization is because you have too many ideas. Alright? what you have to do is filter the answer that would give you the answer that would be most practical and easier for you to answer and explain. Kasi pwedeng ang tanong, what's your favorite food? Marami kang pwedeng isagot dyan. Pero aling sagot ba ang pinaka-effective or pwede mong i-explain in an easier manner? Okay? Probably one of the answers could be sinigang, pizza, roasted chicken. Pero alin ba dun yung relatable sa kausap mo? Okay. Now, if you answer a Filipino word or Filipino ulam like sinigang, it will require you to explain. Okay? It will require you to explain the answer in descriptive language. That's why go for pizza. Okay? My favorite food is pizza, specifically pepperoni pizza. It's very simple with basic ingredients and definitely tasty. Okay? Now, here are some tips on how you can arrange your ideas so that you can sound more coherent. Okay? Number one is chronological order. What does chronological order mean? I'm sorry. Okay. You are presenting the main points in order of occurrence. This is used when you are talking about events, steps in a procedure, or stages of a process. For example, ang tanong, what is your daily routine? You have to use the chronological order. Kung ano yung ginawa mo in the beginning of your day. Okay? In the morning, in the lunchtime, afternoon, and evening. Okay? Hindi maganda pakinggan if magsisimula ka sa afternoon mong activities. It's much better for you to start talking about your morning activities. Okay? Hanggang sa evening activities. And then, how about if the question is, how to use a mobile phone? Okay? Of course, you need a chronological order there. First of all, you have to make sure that the mobile phone is charged. Turn on the phone and start downloading apps. Because without apps, you can't really use the phone, right? So you have to start downloading the apps, signing up for each app. At first, you might be quite lost on how to use a specific app, but then if you keep practicing and using it, then eventually you would know how to go around using that app. And definitely, phones have a lot of uses. It's used for communication, for entertainment, and for educational purposes. Now, if I were to use my phone for communication purposes, definitely I have to make sure that I have all the messenger apps, such as Messenger, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, Kakao Talk, Skype, Zoom, Zoom, and by simply signing up for each app and adding my friends there or family, I can easily start communicating with them. Now, for entertainment purposes, I have to make sure that I download the necessary streaming apps such as Netflix, Disney Channel, Disney app, YouTube, TikTok, View, what else? Prime Video. Of course, signing up is also the first step that you have to do. And registering if payment is required. Subscribing is very important. And then, since we live in a digital age, you can simply start watching anything you want as long as you are connected to the internet. And dapat pala yun yung next step, after turning on your phone, you have to make sure that you're connected to the internet. Sorry, I forgot that. And then lastly, for educational purposes, there are apps such as ChatGPT, dictionaries, thesaurus, what else? YouTube could be a good educational app as well. What? What do you mean ABC? Really? Oh yeah, CoComelon, right? Or Miss Rachel. If you subscribe to those channels, definitely, it's a good educational platform for kids, right? I think downloading. I had an app before, aside from ChatGPT. I forgot. But me, I downloaded all the productivity apps, such as, because I don't only use my phone for communication, entertainment, and educational purposes. I actually also use my phone for work purposes. So I downloaded Google Drive, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, Google Meet, like everything that I can use for work, just in case I don't have my laptop on. Okay? All right, so number 2 is spatial order. Okay, hindi to yung special order Baka isipin nyo, special shop out to. No, spatial order from the word space. What are we talking about here? When you are asked to describe a geographical area, your house, your hometown, you can use technique number 2, which is spatial order. Okay. Now, if one of the questions in your interview is describe your house or describe your neighborhood, how can you use the spatial order in this case? Of course, before you start describing the interior of your house, start by describing the exterior first. Kung may backyard man kayo or front yard, start there. Okay? Kasi ang tanong dyan, do you live in a house or an apartment? So most Filipinos would answer, I live in a house. So, exterior muna bago interior. Okay. General to specific. Okay? I live in a 2-story house. We do have a spacious front yard, as we also have a spacious backyard. In fact, we have a swimming pool that is 7 feet deep. And then in our front yard, we have a garden, since my mom loves flowers. We also have a porch for when we need to have some chit chats in the morning. We like staying at the porch or the veranda to get some fresh air. The view from our porch is stunning since we have a beautiful garden. My mother has planted some roses, some lavenders, and lilies. Kung ano na lang naisip ko talaga eh. Now, the exterior of our house is quite classic. I can describe it as a combination of Filipino Spanish architecture. So it's an ancestral house. That's why the design or the exterior has that facade. Once you enter the house, you will see our living area. It's spacious enough to accommodate up to 10 people, since we also have an 85-inch TV, which is very good for watching movies on weekends. Then next to the living room is our kitchen. And on the right corner, there's a dining area. When you go upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms. We made sure that all the bedrooms are upstairs so that we can have enough space to accommodate guests on the first floor. So, yun yung spatial order. Do we get it? Yes? So, from general to specific details. Pero huwag niyo akong gayahin dun sa part na kinikwento ko na yung garden, tapos pumunta ako dun sa porch, tapos bumalik ulit ako sa garden. So, medyo magulo siya, right? So, try to be more organized with your answers. Causal order. Discuss the causes and effects of a problem or phenomenon. It's actually very similar to problem solution order. Okay? So, cause and effect, problem solution. It's a bit similar. So, your cause and effect is when the question is, what do you think is the effect of climate change? So, una, pwede mo munang sabihin that what are the causes of climate change and what are the effects? Climate change is caused by pollution, air pollution, land pollution, ocean pollution, and it highly affects humans and all living species. That's the reason why there are a lot of different diseases nowadays. And also, that's also the reason why a lot of animals are endangered, also extinct at this point. Ganun lang, okay? It's very simple. Anong simple, ma'am? Anong simple sinasabi mo dyan? Well, I'm just trying to help you picture out what a cause and effect thing is, explanation is, okay? Now, problem solution order is when you're discussing a problem and you're giving your own solution. Opinion-based lang naman yun. Remember, huwag kayong ma-pressure kasi the speaking test is not an intelligence test. This is just a test on how you can express your thoughts and ideas using English language. So for example, the question is, what do you think is the reason why there is heavy traffic in your city? Well, one of the reasons why there is heavy traffic in our city is because of overpopulation. If there were a lot of job opportunities in provinces, then people would not be overpopulated in cities because they're trying to find better job opportunities. So I guess one of the solutions to ease the traffic congestion is to local government should open more job opportunities in their provinces. Tama ba? Kasi yun yung reason kung ba't maraming nagpupunta ng Manila, right? Because they feel like bigger ang compensation sa Manila, there are better job opportunities, career growth. So iba din yung rate. There's a provincial rate for employees. Iba din yung Manila rate. That's why people would all go to Manila and find jobs there. But of course, that's not the only factor. There are also a lot of reasons why traffic congestion is an issue in our country. Pero yun lang yung example, okay? Present the problem and give your solution as to what you think could be the best way to solve that specific problem. Okay, now topical order, arranging ideas according to importance. Okay, so may specific topic yung bawat tanong. Think of subtopics that you could tackle so that maging contentful yung sagot mo. Actually, these techniques can be used on task 3. Task 2 and task 3 ng speaking test. Okay? What time is it? Uy, ang bilis ng oras. Okay. Another common mistake is hesitating and doing too much self-correction. Okay. One reason why you're hesitating is because you're focusing too much on vocabulary and grammar. Masyado kang conscious na magkamali, kaya tuloy, you're committing more mistakes in your answers. Okay? Don't be overly conscious. Okay? If sa tingin mo, you're making a lot of mistakes, just go on. The show must go on. Okay? Alright, for example, nagkamali ka sa pronouns. My mother is the kindest person in the world. She loves to take care of her children and likes to help those who are in need. So since kinorek ko yung sarili ko, I just highlighted the mistake that I made. So instead of doing that, you can just proceed by correcting yourself in the following sentences that you're about to say. My mother is the kindest person in the world. He loves to take care of her children and likes to help those who are in need. She's also a very physically fit person. She loves exercising and she does it on a regular basis. O diba? Hindi na nahalata yung mali ko na he kanina. Kasi I didn't do self-correction. I just went on with my answer and inayos ko na lang yung mga susunod pang mga sagot. Okay? Changing answers in the middle of speaking. Okay. In order to avoid this, you have to think 1 to 2 seconds before giving the answer. Pag-isipan mo muna. That way, you can filter your answers. Okay? Can we have a short break after 5 minutes? So 10:55, we will have a 5-minute break and then we will proceed here. We will proceed with the discussion at 11. Okay? Right. long pauses or keeping quiet. Ito yung hindi ka na sumasagot. Okay? Nangyayari talaga yan, right? Hindi ka makasagot, wala kang maisip na sagot or sobrang kang nai-intimidate sa examiner, kaya tuloy wala ka nang masabi. One of the causes is trying to come up with impressive answers. Minsan, when you're trying too hard, it takes a toll on you. So, always remember, the more practical your answers are, the more conversational you will sound. By the way, ang gusto ng mga examiner, parang may kausap lang silang kaibigan. Na parang ang tagal nilang hindi nag-update sa isa't isa. Parang after 5 years, saka pa lang tayo magkikita. Hey, Blake! How are you there in Australia? So, what are you doing nowadays? Are you still studying or are you working now? Tambay sa Australia with the kangaroos, ganon. So, yun yung klase ng atake na gusto ng examiner. Try to be more friendly, try to be more kind, and display a kind, polite demeanor. Okay? Another cause of long pauses or keeping quiet is distracted ka. Nagde-daydreaming ka. Or masyado mo nang na-overthink yung magiging resulta ng exam. Okay? Kailangan, you're living in the moment. Kapag nandun ka na sa interview, yun lang yung tanging iisipin mo. Huwag ka nang isip ng kung ano-ano. Alam ko, marami tayong pinagdadaanan sa buhay. Marami tayong mga personal issues. But you have to remember that when you are inside that interview room, you should forget everything else at focus ka lang muna sa examiner at sa mga tanong. Okay? Huwag kang lutang, ibig sabihin yan. Kasi di ba daydreaming, lutang yon? Totoo naman, di ba? Tagalog ng daydreaming is pagiging lutang. At kailangan mong maiwasan yan. So, kailangan, pag lunch break na, after mong matake yung listening, reading, at saka writing, make sure you eat lunch para focus ka pa sa speaking, okay? And of course, what you do a week before the exam and 24 hours before your exam is crucial. Para maiwasan mo yung pagiging distracted, huwag ka munang don't be around people who will cause you emotional stress. Okay? Actually, isa nga sa mga advice nila, if feel mo stressful sa bahay, makitulog ka muna sa kaibigan mo. Or probably book a hotel. Ang gastos nun. Pero, yeah, avoid talking to toxic people before you take the exam. Para yung isip mo clear. Hindi masyadong stressed. At saka, 24 hours before your actual exam, hindi ka na mag-aaral, hindi ka na magre-review, hindi ka na magpapa-coaching. Ano gagawin mo? Mag-chill. Okay? Of course, paghahandaan mo yung exam such as sleep early, make sure that you're physically conditioned. Hindi pwedeng bago mag-exam, nagsa-celebrate ka na agad. Siyempre, alamin mo muna yung result ng exam. Wala mo nang inom-inom or wala mo nang gala-gala, right? Because very crucial talaga ang 1 week or 24 hours before the exam. Anything could happen. Okay, another cause is thinking of better or appropriate words. So, just make use of available words. As long as yun pa rin yung kino-convey na meaning, yun pa rin yung message na pwedeng iparating. Okay? Huwag mo na masyadong i-complicate ang mga bagay-bagay. Right. Okay, so break time. You can go out, take a toilet break. I'll be back. Okay, so far you don't have any questions to ask? Don't you have any questions? That's good. Favor sa akin yan. In favor. In favor. Alright. Magpapacoaching ka? Why not? I mean, siya lang yung magpapacoaching. Sayang naman, no? You're not in the mood? Why? Okay, you should have had coffee. Or all right. So, another common mistake is coming up with short answers. Okay, you have to remember that the speaking subtest is a maximum of 15 minutes. The ideal time na makapag-pa-interview ka is 12 to 15 minutes. If, in any case, you only spent 7 to 8 minutes in the interview, anong i-expect mo? Definitely, you're gonna expect to fail the speaking subtest. Kasi, kaya 7 to 8 minutes lang ang tinagal ng interview kasi ang iksi ng mga sagot mo. Alright? Remember, the IELTS speaking subtest is an avenue for you to be assessed in your speaking capabilities. That's why you have to speak. Alright? Hindi pwedeng yes, no answers lang. Do you like music? Yes. Always aim to expound. Alright? Do you like music? Yes. I'm interested in, I really like, I find pop music exciting. So yun yung mga terms na pwede mong gamitin. I'm really into, I really like, I find it interesting, I'm more likely to I'm more likely to listen to ballad songs or metal rock. Depende sa'yo, anong genre. And also be prepared if the question is, what genre are you into? For example, ang tanong, do you like listening to music? Yes, I do. What genre are you into? Genre means anong klaseng music ang hilig mo pakinggan. Ano yung iba't ibang genre of music? Ballad, R&B, pop, K-pop, metal, rock, classical, and the list goes on. Ngayon, sa movies naman, what genre of movies are you into? Romance, rom-com or romantic comedy? Suspense, thriller, horror. Magkakaiba yun, ha? What else? Psycho. Ang tawag sa mga movie na may psycho? Psycho yung genre? Psychological. And action movies. So, i-expect mo na ang susunod na tanong is, who's your favorite? Pag sa music artist. Pag sa movies, actor or actress. So, kailangan nakahanda ka na sa mga ganong klaseng tanong. Okay? Again, sino ang i-mention natin? Yung mga Pinoy na mga banda ba? or mga artista or mga singer na Pinoy or yung mga internationally known artists. Definitely, iwasan na natin yung mga Pinoy or local answers. Kasi, again, you will end up explaining it. Kapag ang sagot mo parokya ni Edgar, tingin mo ba alam ng examiner kung sino sila? Tingin mo ba kilala nila si Rocksteady? Definitely no. That's why, for you, na madalian ka na lang at hindi ka na rin mapunta sa mahirap na sitwasyon, ang isagot mo na yung possibility na kilala ng mga examiners, such as Celine Dion, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Lady Gaga, Beyonce. Puro babae yung mention mo. Sa mga lalaki naman, we have Bruno Mars, Shawn Mendes, One Direction, Backstreet Boys, Westlife. Depende sa kung anong era ka, kung anong year ka pinanganak. Yun yung mga hilig. So, mostly, yung mga examiner kasi medyo nasa pa-senior age na sila, okay? So, medyo matatanda na yung mga examiner. So, it would be also good kung mabanggit mo yung mga medyo matatanda ng mga artists such as si Kenny Rogers. I don't know him. Pasensya ka na, Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha! And I don't know a lot of sino? Bon Jovi? Do you know Bon Jovi? Because you know what I noticed among Gen Zs? Kasi ito Gen Zs tong dalawa na to eh. I noticed that you are inclined to listen to old songs. Tama ba? Or sila Flo G yung pinapakinggan nyo? Skasta Klee, gano'n? Hindi. Because that's what I noticed when I talked to some of my Gen Z nieces, nephews. They mentioned that they like listening to classical music. Or yung mga nasa 80s, 70s, mga ganun. They say that it's more mas na-appreciate nila yung old music. But probably it depends on your upbringing. Kasi depende rin yun sa mga piniplay ng mga parents nyo sa bahay. Right? But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that much. Next, we have no structure. Okay, sa speaking task card 2, sa task 2, may speaking task card. So, kaya may speaking task card para mag-guide ka sa pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga isasagot mo. Pero hindi ibig sabihin, doon mo lang ililimit yung mga sagot. Okay? Let's say hindi ka pa umaabot ng 2 minutes. Hindi ka pa umaabot ng 2 minutes. And then, wala ka nang masabi, pwede mo naman dagdagan pa yon. Basta make sure na relevant pa rin siya sa pinaka-topic sa task card. Okay? Alright. Ito. Getting off topic. Madalas kasi, so many ideas at saka nakikarried away ka. Napapasarap ka sa pagkwento. Hindi mo na-realize hindi na pala siya ganun ka-importante or ka-relevant sa tanong. Okay? So, I'm not saying na kailangan maging strict tayo sa 3 to 4 sentences, pero it would be better if you stick to this standard. Okay? Ayoko na naman i-advise na, kailangan sa task 1, 3 to 4 sentences lang kasi ayokong limitahan ka. Pero, dapat marunong ka rin makaramdam na siguro hanggang dito lang yung dapat mong sabihin. Kasi too much information is not that good. Okay? For example, the question is, talk about a recent vacation that you went with your family. Okay? My family and I love going on out-of-town trips. And one of our go-to places near our hometown is San Juan La Union. That place is located in the northern part of the Philippines, and it's a 3 to 4 hour drive away from my hometown. So we love going there because there are beautiful beaches, yung pronunciation there are beautiful beaches, there are fun activities to do such as surfing, clubbing, and other ATV activities. Yun, 3 to 4 sentences na yun. Pero nasagot mo yung pinaka tanong, right? Common mistakes with vocabulary and lexical resource. Okay. One of the common mistakes is misusing of words. That's why you have to avoid difficult words or highfalutin words, because sometimes you might find yourself questioning yourself. Am I using an appropriate term in this situation? So para maiwasan natin yung mga ganong klaseng sitwasyon, it's much better if you opt for simple language, simple vocabulary. As long as it's understandable, it's more practical. Okay? But this is also a case-by-case situation, because let's say, alam mo naman sa sarili mo that you're an advanced English speaker. If kaya mong panindigan yung mga difficult words, and alam mo gamitin yung iba't ibang expressions in English, we will not stop you from doing that, okay? As long as kaya mong panindigan at kaya mong magamit ng tama yung mga words at expressions na yun, okay? Repeated use of specific words. Ayan, yung repetition, kailangan natin maiwasan, okay? For example, you just use the same word over and over. Try mo naman gamitan ng ibang synonyms. Or replace it with a phrase that describes it. Okay? Let me think of an example. For example, what's your favorite season? My favorite season is summer. I love the warm weather in summer. There are a lot of fun activities that you could do during hot days. O diba, warm, hot, hindi siya pareho, pero same lang siya ng meaning. Okay? So think of words that you could use, synonyms, para hindi pa ulit-ulit yung ginagamit. Overuse of transition signals. You always use the word actually. Ayan, favorite na favorite gamitin yan. Tapos paulit-ulit yung word na actually. Yung word na also, and. So pwede mong gamitan ng other words such as furthermore, however, on the other hand, moreover, okay? Now, overuse of adverbs. Ayan, mahilig ang mga Pinoy dito sa word na really. Okay? I really, really like it. It was really delicious. Or it was really, he ran really fast. Or, for example, the theme park was really big. So instead of saying the theme park was really big, you can use a term such as spacious. The theme park was extra spacious. The boy ran really fast. So instead of saying really fast, you can say the boy sprinted. Okay? Sally is a very good singer. Isa pa sa mga mahilig gamitin ng mga Pinoy is very, very. It's very, very delicious. Sally is a very good singer. So instead of saying very good singer, you can use the term excellent. Sally is an excellent singer. Okay? Next. Parroting the examiner. Okay. What is your favorite hobby? My favorite hobby is, okay, pwede namang gamitan ng ibang words. Hindi mo kailangang sabihin, my favorite hobby is, my favorite food is, okay? Try to paraphrase or try to just directly answer the question, okay? Ice cream. It is a very comforting food for me since in the Philippines, we have hot weather. So eating ice cream would help me ease the heat. I also have a sweet tooth. So ice cream for me is one of the best desserts, especially chocolate flavored ice cream. That was, I guess, 3 sentences, right? O, ayun. Diba? Hindi ko na kailangan sabihin, my favorite food is ice cream because it sounds very elementary if you do that, okay? Now, sa speaking task 2, or dun sa may task guard, medyo nalilito yung iba. Nasagutan ko na po ba agad yung mga bullet questions? 2 minutes ang meron ka para sagutan yung mga tanong. Mahaba ang 2 minutes. Marami kang pwedeng sabihin. So, might as well make an introduction. Make an introduction. Okay? So, for example, the task card is describe an adventurous activity. What for you is an adventurous activity? Well, the word adventurous can be defined subjectively depending on a person's opinion. But for me, whenever I think of an adventurous activity, I would always associate it with something outdoorsy, such as hiking or going to the beach and doing extreme water sports or water activities. I find it adventurous because it's something that I wouldn't do on a normal basis. Because normally I would just be at home watching my favorite movie or my favorite series on Netflix and trying to stay cool. But when I go out and do outdoor activities, I find myself thrilled and excited to experience those kinds of fun activities. So yun. Ganong introduction pwede mong gawin. Okay? Pwede mong bigyan ng konting background info. Pwede namang simulan mo with some flowery words, something like that. Kailangan mong ma-achieve yung 2 minutes. Okay? Another common mistake is murmuring in Filipino. Ano na nga sabi niya? Parang ganon. Ano na nga? Ano na nga sa English? Mapapaganon ka pa talaga eh. Or minsan, hindi mo maiwasan na makapagsalita ng Filipino. Kagaya sa mga tanong na, what's your favorite food? Or, sino yung favorite artist mo? Sino yung favorite, who's your favorite actor or actress? So, in those cases, you need to make sure that mapaghahandaan mo na yung mga sagot mo. Makapag-prepare ka na ng sagot na hindi Filipino. Wait lang, meron pa kasing kanina patawag ng tawag sa akin. Huh? Why? We will end at 12 noon. Sige, bibilisan ko na yung explanation para hindi na maraming slides. Ay, para maabutan natin yung videos. Kasi may mga videos dito panonoorin later. Okay? Alright. Ayan. Nandito na tayo sa common mistakes with grammar. Okay. Yan. Unfinished or incomplete sentences. Make sure na kapag sumasagot, yan. When you're answering, you have to make sure that you always come up with complete sentences. Yung may subject at saka verb. Yung may subject tsaka predicate. Okay? Yeah. William is a sports enthusiast. He likes playing basketball. Right. So, very important ang subject-verb agreement. If in order for you to improve on your grammar, you need to watch the replay videos of grammar lectures. We have, I think, 9 grammar lectures. Inappropriate personal pronouns. My father is a businessman and she knows how to make money. Make sure, pag male, gagamitin mo is he. He knows how to make money, right? William is a sports enthusiast. He likes. Ito naman, make sure na kapag singular yung subject, singular din yung form ng verb. Nouns and pronouns contradict in number. I think students should not be forced to do unpaid work for the community because he should be enjoying his life. So, ang subject natin dito is students. So, ano dapat yung maging pronoun? Can you please correct this sentence, Blake? Okay, they should be enjoying their lives. Plural form na rin yung life, okay? Okay. So, prepositions. I enjoyed studying statistics back on my college days. Ano yung correct answer? Back in my college days. Okay, that's the correct one. Good job. Okay. Complete a sentence in your head before delivering it. So, ang key, guys, think in English so that you can speak in English. Okay? Oh, ang bilis lang nung sa grammar. Common mistakes in pronunciation. Yan. These are the most common yung nai-interchange ng mga Pinoy to. Yung short I at saka long E. Rich, reach. Stop. Ito naman yung S at saka Z. Remember, words that, yung mga words na pagitna yung S sa dalawang vowels, hindi S ang pag-pronounce, hindi Z ang nagiging pronunciation. For example, seasons, seasons, treasure, leisure. O, di ba nakapagitna yung S sa dalawang vowels? So, automatically, letter Z ang pag-pronounce, or the Z sound, okay? Now, you also have to be careful with your P and F, okay? Hindi Philippines, Philippines. Pale and fail. And of course, letter B and letter V, okay ba yun? B as in ban and B as in van. Okay? So, you should avoid being too excited or nervous. Kaya sabi ko kanina, make sure that you just have a medium speaking pace. Hindi ibig sabihin, kapag mabilis magsalita, fluent na mag-English ha. It's not all about the speed. It's about applying the proper pacing in order to achieve more concise and organized answers. Okay. Slurring or audibility. Kailangan malinaw kayo magsalita ha. So, the reason why you cannot pronounce certain words correctly is because mali yung formation ng mouth or lips. So you have to make sure, wag masyadong OA, avoid voice frying. Ano yung voice frying, ma'am? Yun yung literally, yung medyo ang arte ng dating. Nakakaanoy, di ba? So, may mga candidates talaga na medyo ganun yung dating nila. So, pinagsasabihan ko rin na please try to minimize the voice frying because it can hinder proper understanding. Okay? Hindi rin naman maganda na super strong ng local accent. Try to neutralize your accent. And you will adapt to the neutral accent or American accent if you listen to audio and watch videos, movies, series that have that kind of accent. Okay? Importante din yung tone. Okay? Hindi ka dapat you sound galit. Hindi din dapat flat intonation. Flat intonation yung iisa lang yung tono. Boring siya pakinggan, nakaka-drag siya ng energy. So try to be expressive. Okay? Try to be expressive, try to be animated. Do your best. And then we have, of course, mispronunciation. So how can you avoid mispronunciation, guys? Well, of course, you have to review your words all the time and make sure that if you're not sure how to pronounce a word, you have to make sure that avoid mo na lang yung word na yun. Try to opt for a word that is more simple, right? More simple. Do you have any questions? Okay. Finally, we can watch the video. Right, so wait lang. Because I need to connect pala the Bluetooth. Okay. Yung Saturday, ang dami pumasok, di ba? Ha? Ha? Yeah, ang dami pumasok kahapon. Na-drain nga yung utak ko kahapon sa sa coaching eh. 15 students kasi. Tapos, after ng coaching, di ba meron pa ako isang trabaho? Drain na drain talaga yung utak ko kagabi. Gusto ko na lang, ayoko na pumasok today sana eh. Joke. Ay, wow, kailangan matapos na yung lecture talaga. Sige, pack up. Madali ka usap eh. Okay, panoorin natin to. Na-connect na kaya yung Bluetooth speaker? Ba't ba nakakainis to? Ayaw gumana. Okay, okay, okay. Ito na pala, guys. Nawala. Ba't ayaw? Hindi connected. Ha?
Sa sikat po yung ginagawa ni Sir Kevin. Sa tinatapat lang po niya.
Nakakonect to sa Bluetooth. I know. Wait lang guys ah. Nakalagay on eh. Ano ba yan? Wait. Ah, okay. Nakakonect pala siya sa earbuds ko. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sa earbuds ko pala nakakonect. Ano name ng odd? GX700? Ay, ito pala siya. Ay, ayan. Let's see if it's gonna play now, okay? Tayo mag-play. Alright, let's see. Oh, di ba?
Famous people in your country.
Yep.
So in China, what kind of people become famous?
Politicians, pop stars, and sports stars. It's similar with the other countries, I think.
Is one of those groups more popular than others?
It depends, because for like politicians, you have to know them because they appear all the time on televisions, on newspapers. The young people, because the young people like to follow the stars and new trends, but for games, also competitions. So it really depends. Yeah.
What about in the past with sports stars and pop stars?
I think so, because even I have followed some pop stars and the sports stars, and for the politicians, the trends quite often. So
Where do you think it's going to go?
I think this kind of people will remain famous of new pop stars, sports stars, and some new politicians. But I think some other people will join them as well. For example, notice some like even some not weird but strange people like the founder of the WikiLeaks. He's also popular because the things has done. So I think these most people in the future.
And do you think technology is going to be the place where many of our famous people come from in the future?
Definitely, the Facebooks, the Twitters, so definitely this kind of, and I think many people are working on it because there are special companies, to make these people famous through the internet, the advertisement and promotion.
Now let's talk about celebrity culture. Often famous of that.
No, it's quite often, you can see lots famous people on the television. For example, like one typical example is the Michael Jordan. Nike become very famous is because Michael Jordan, because he is his first NBA star. Serious commercials for specific companies, and I think that's a typical example in how the famous people to help the companies successful, and also the companies. Yeah.
And that example you're talking about with Michael Jordan, he's a basketball player who was promoting a product that he was personally involved in endorsed products for which they have no personal connection.
Yes, but often because people are profit oriented. Yes. Yeah, we can see lots of famous female stars. They just say, okay, this one's so good, this is fantastic. Nobody know whether she is using it or not. Yeah, I think sometimes depends on this is ethnic choice. Okay, this one's fine, is good. So we can rely on it, but some of them just want to get money. So it's just do the promotion stuff without really using it or testing it.
Now, how about celebrities have a negative impact on our young people?
Well, as we know, some things I cannot see that immoral that the action they have done is really bad or young young generation, because some of them once they become famous, they just try drugs, have stay in the cars, all day, all the night, and distinguish good things or the bad things. Sometimes they just follow the star's actions, so it makes some of them just star is trying it, and many stars trying it. Oh, it's pretty cool, to stay with girls all the time, giving girls all the time, something. So I think it's pretty bad negative effects on young people.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's the end of the speaking test.
Thanks.
So, ang score niya ay 6. Yung ang dami nang nasabi, 6 lang no? Well, these are the reasons. Ito yung mga bagay na ginawa niyang tama. What he did right. Teka lang, excited ka eh. So, yan. Guys. Carlos Samson. Di kasi masyado maintindihan sinasabi niya tapos ang bilis pa. True. Highly. Kanina di ba sabi ko pronunciation is so important? So, that's the reason why he didn't score such a high score because ang hirap intindihin ng pronunciation niya. Right? So, ito yung mga dahilan kung bakit naka-6 lang siya. Talks for an extended period, but okay, nabubulol na ako, but occasionally loses coherence because of hesitation and repetition. Okay? Masyadong ina-extend yung mga sagot to the point na nawawalan na ng relevance yung mga sagot niya. Ba't ka tumatawa, Blake? Excessive use of the following words. Well, like, cause, tsaka yeah. Tama ka din yan. Madalas siyang yeah ng yeah. Ayan tuloy, naka-6 lang siya. Tsaka medyo maangas kasi yung dating ng yeah. Di ba? Parang yeah. Tapos masyadong parang informal. Bentang-bentang kay Blake. So, meron din siyang gonna and wanna. It's too informal to use those terms. Remember, kailangan may balance lang yung demeanor natin na not too casual, but not too formal. Okay? Flat intonation. Mispronunciation sa L at saka R. Common yan sa mga Koreano kasi wala silang L and R sa alphabet nila. Okay. Let's watch another video.
We've been talking about a well-known person you like or admire, and let's consider first of all famous people in your country. So in Malaysia,
Definitely the politicians and also some actors and actresses are very famous among Malaysians.
in the past, were politicians and actors and actresses always?
I think definitely in the past, if we're talking about the 50 station tour between villages or towns, so the people definitely knew actors and actresses better than the politicians, compared to now, politicians' personal life more than an actor or actress.
Because in many cultures, quite the opposite has happened, where politician stars, television stars are more well known. What do you think about in the future? Do you think that that's going to continue? Politicians will continue to be
Globalized, Malaysians be exposed to more international compared to the local actors and actresses or local American or British politics or internationally.
Well, let's talk used in advertisements. Can you give me some examples?
Actors and actresses are used in advertisements. Celebrities like Tiger Woods or sports shoes or clothes and actresses that sponsor perfume.
Whatever profession they're involved in, that's the kind of product that they tend to.
Celebrity actresses support perfumes and support clothes.
But isn't that sort of glamorous kind of side of Hollywood that
That's what they're trying to do, the marketing, the people who market celebrity goals. But they do have that what they should buy.
on the consumer produce negative effects in our youth?
Definitely, I think they do. As you can see, like they're becoming thinner, models and celebrities, and when you open a magazine, young girls, that's normal for them to be thin, and that could cause them to go into anorexia, bulimia, or unhealthy practices. Whereas being healthy and being normal-bodied is actually the norm.
Now, what about young boys?
I think most definitely be influenced in a way materialistically, like they want bling and they want all cool gadget, make boys realize that material.
What about public opinion? How might celebrities be used to influence?
Like if you see Peter, they there's like this promotion where they get those, asked boxes and all that for their first celebrity. So, oh, what's the message? Okay, I get it. No, yeah.
Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test. Thank you very much.
Okay. Kung mapapansin natin, the woman also had a lot of local accent. Makapal yung Indian American accent niya. But at the same time, she came up with better ideas, better answers. And definitely she speaks fluently. Relevant lahat ng mga sagot niya, right? What else? Rare repetition or self-correction. Flexible vocabulary. She made use of various vocabulary. Precise use of words in all topics. Full and natural range of sentences. Rhythm of language is sustained, and stress and intonation are invariably used to good effect. So yan, how can you get a score of 9? Well, definitely more coaching sessions. Okay? Attend minor lectures related to speaking. Grammar lectures. Review your orange book. Practice answering speaking task cards. Yun yung mga link na sinasend namin sa inyo na PDF files, right? Expand your vocabulary. Watch English movies, TV shows, be confident. Prepare. Start strong and finish strong. And of course, hindi lang yung OBS na gusto nyo ang kailangan na ma-achieve. Kailangan aim higher, right? Okay. Well, if you don't have any questions, that ends our discussion for today. Okay? Thank you everyone for participating.